Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Zaina and this is a mindful space with another twin flame message for all of you. I thought I'd bring you to a forest today. I thought I'd bring you into nature as I share the message that I've received through this Pisces full moon. I am very close to some very pretty parrots, and so you'll probably hear them in the background, and you'll probably hear the steam train as well. So one of the things that's coming through is this awareness that on this twin flame journey there are a lot of messages out there that can sometimes be used against us by ourselves. What I mean by this is you probably find that you tune into a video and it says, and there's cards, people are looking at the cards and they're saying, I see great potential for union and as long as you're doing your work. And it's this doing your work that I wanted to speak about just briefly. Don't let this idea of doing your work be another thing to punish yourself for. Some people say this and they don't elaborate. It's like they kind of repeat what they've been taught. This is why I try really hard to elaborate what I'm speaking about so that you can see that I have an understanding, or at least you can share my understanding if it resonates with you. So this idea of doing your work sometimes can be used against us by ourselves because we might feel that because if things do not seem to be going very well, then maybe it's because we're not doing enough work. Maybe we're not working hard enough. Maybe we're not doing it the right way. You see how something like this can be used against us as a weapon. Now, keeping in mind that this is about stepping into our empowerment, feeling good and aligned within ourselves, with life, feeling alive, present, which is what I'm feeling here as I'm in this forest. We want to really pay attention to anything that we use to give ourselves a hard time with, this idea of doing your work. And the other one that I want to speak about is the mission. You know, it might be that some of us get guided to do some particular type of work that feels really fulfilling, and that is fantastic. And it might be that if some of you are in union with your twin flame in the physical, that you're creating a business together, and that's fantastic as well. But don't get too hung up on this idea of what your mission is, because that's another thing that we can use against ourselves. Oh, I'm not getting union, it's not going well because I don't know what my mission is. And then you might find yourself paying people to tell you what your mission is, leading you up the garden path, confusing you even more. I feel like our true mission on this path is to simply be our true authentic self, and wherever that leads is right for us at this time. So don't be so hard on yourself or too impatient to find this mission. So they're just a couple of things that I wanted to bring up. Really, this is about looking very carefully at anything that we are experiencing in life that is disempowering us. This is really hard because as human beings we cling too tightly to certain things, to certain people, to certain jobs, to gain that sense of who we are and our self-identity, and to give us hope for life improving even more in the future. And wanting greater happiness and fulfillment is fantastic. But when we hold too tightly to an idea or a person, hoping that that will create this happiness and fulfillment, then we might need to question this, because when we hold on too tightly to anything in the hope and the belief that it will lead us to greater fulfillment, usually our soul will begin to create situations that will push us to let it go. And it is that letting go that can be so painful. Sometimes you think that your dream has been snatched away, or your sense of identity has been snatched away, and can cause you to feel so lost. But really what our soul is trying to show us is that nothing, no person, no job, nothing outside of ourself is going to bring us that sense of fulfillment unless we have found it within ourselves first, in the present moment, as things currently are in our lives now. And this is really hard for our mind, for our human self to understand and accept. If you find yourself thinking or feeling that when a certain outcome is achieved in my life, then I will achieve greater happiness, you got to catch yourself, because true fulfillment and happiness is right here in this present moment. And if you are continuing to hope for something in the future, remember, on this path, the future doesn't exist. That is something our soul is going to continue to teach us over and over again, asking us to come back to the present moment. The future doesn't exist. So if we continue to put our happiness into a future that doesn't exist, we are going around in circles. And it's so hard, because that's how we've been brought up. Life isn't quite the way I want it right now. But once I have this pay rise, once I have the union with my beloved twin flame, then things will get better. And I don't think it works that way. I think that first we have to find that fulfillment within ourselves first. So just ask yourself if there is anything at all in your life that you're holding on too tightly to in the hope that it will bring you greater fulfillment. And let your soul guide you gently on how to let that go, and how to remember to come back to this present moment, finding the beauty right here and now. Keep an eye on any promises that you may experience out there, because the twin flame journey is extremely popular at the moment, and there are a few people out there trying to make money from people like us. So really be discerning, because there are companies that have been created to prey on those of us on this journey, promising us that if we buy this, then we will be guaranteed physical union, when the truth is, the only part of us that can guarantee physical union, the only person that can guarantee physical union, is our own soul. Not some company with twin flame in the title. So just remember, there are big corporations out there, and if we keep putting our power in their hands, if we keep believing their promises to to help us. We are disempowering ourselves, and our soul will once again find ways to help us to see through this and bring us back once again to ourself. So if you are going through a rapid period of loss in your life, then I totally understand how difficult this can be. Let yourself grieve. Let yourself go through the dark night of the soul. And remember, the truth is always love. So seek for what you can in this moment. And if this moment is really hard, then be there. Don't run. Don't avoid it. Just be with yourself and try to be as self-loving as possible. And eventually you will get through it as long as you try not to resist it. It's not easy. It's not easy because we're being guided to live in a way that we were not brought up to live. We were brought up to live in a particular way where we constantly put our happiness into a future that doesn't exist. Constantly saying to ourselves, things will get better once this or this or this happens. And careful, because so many things on this spiritual path can mislead us and keep us going around in circles. One more thing I just want to say about this idea of doing your work. This simply means taking responsibility for your actions, being willing to own up to the mistakes that you've made, to any pain that you may have caused, and to also notice any patterns that are repeating, that are causing you pain, and to be willing to look at those patterns and find ways to understand why they keep repeating. It's not something you want to use to beat yourself up with. It's something you can be guided by. But this whole idea of doing your work can be used like a threat on this path. You need to do your work, otherwise you will not experience physical union. You need to find your mission, otherwise you will not experience physical union with your beloved. You see how these things can be used against us. And this is what I want to bring up with all of you, and I think all the parrots agree with me. Just keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open. Notice if there are any messages like that, and ask yourself, is this for my highest good? Is this message helping me to feel a great sense of expansion and hope? Or is this message causing me to feel bad or confused? Just check in. That's all I'm saying. There are some people out there putting videos on YouTube that are very genuine, and they will usually speak very authentically, and you know that they understand what they're talking about, and you know they've reached that point in this journey where they're very, very self-aware, and they're not just repeating what they've been taught. They've experienced it, because there's a big difference. Remember, ultimately this is about letting go of ideas that keep us going around in circles, letting go of behaviour that keeps us going around in circles, letting go of ideas and concepts that keep us stuck in a loop. It's always about letting go, and I think this is why it can be quite sad sometimes, as yet another thing is revealed to us to be not for our highest good. So let yourself be where you are, constantly check in, feel whether something is resonant or right, or whether it's a quick fix promise. Careful, because people use this idea of getting into union with your beloved as a way to trap us. And think about it, if a big company creates a product or creates products that promise that if we use them, we will be guaranteed union in the physical. If this is a big company making money, how likely do you think their products are going to help us when they'll actually make more money from us by keeping us stuck, hoping for the next thing? Oh, if that product didn't work, here's something else. This is a new one. This will be even better. Just be aware. Observe. Pay attention. Notice. Anything with the twin flame label does not necessarily mean that it is of love and light and for our highest good. So just notice this. Ask yourself. And always check in with your own guidance as to whether something is healthy and right for you or not. So, I hope that you have enjoyed this walk in the forest with me. It's very beautiful here, particularly today. There's just quite a beautiful peace that I'm noticing present in the forest. And if you would like me to do more videos out here in the forest, let me know. By the way, this is Victoria, Australia, where I'm recording this video, in regional Victoria. Incredibly beautiful area. So, please share in the comments, guys, if any of these messages resonated with you. And if you would like me to do more videos outside like this, taking you on a walk with me, then please share in the comments. And I look forward to bringing you another video soon. Bye.